Hello everybody, hopefully there's some people out there. Here I am in my kitchen with Simon and a glass of water and assorted accoutrements, cuddly sheep, etc. And this is my second kitchen session here, titled All the Green Places. So of course, you know what song I'm going to start with. Kitchen Singer-songwriter, basil and rosemary grow in between jam jars and where the recycling goes. No room for more on the 17th floor of the tower. Still the rosemary flowers. That's all he needs, a few summoning seeds, and he's home in the clay and the loam. Marjorie's dahlias, pinks and azaleas blue, where she can see them in the garden outside of her room. Small as the courtyard may be, it's a source of delight for the scent and the sight. Sparrows and wandering bees are her visitors here, very small, very dear. Through spring with her promise and summer with all of her graces. If you're looking for Jack, then you'll find him. You'll find him in all the green places. Council allotments with leeks and shallots standing tall, digging by twilight till coffee and country chair call. Each year's a lesson, and this year was spinach and chard. Well, July's been hard. New couple taking the plot down the path, and they hope that'll show them the ropes. Through spring with her promise and summer with all of her graces. If you're looking for Jack, then you'll find him. You'll find him in all the green places. And there's still more green than there's grey. Perhaps it was we, not Jack, who went away. Moss on the garage or lichen on tiles and stones. Weeds in the pavement or where you can see the land's bones. Out on the brow of a hill where it's fields and woodlands as far as the sky, well, you know Jack's nearby. Even the smallest of greenings are playing their part, and he's there at the heart. Through spring with her promise and summer with all of her graces. If you're looking for Jack, then you'll find him. You'll find him in all the green places. And there's still more green than there's grey. Perhaps it was we, not Jack, who went away. Through spring with her promise and summer with all of her graces. If you're looking for Jack, then you'll find him. You'll find him in all the green places. All the green places. Right, now I have a big rolling list of requests, which I started a few weeks ago. It's been lovely to hear so many of you say, oh, what about so-and-so? What about such and such? Some of them go back a bit. I think Mary Burkey, you hold the record at the moment for going back furthest in my repertoire. And no, I haven't found the words to Big Cat yet, but we shall see. However, this next one was requested. Oh, I see I'm on capo 3. C. I thought it sounded a little bit high and bright. Yeah, I normally do that one on capo 2. See, it says on my set list, 2, capo 2, Talis. Well, there you go. This one is one of my farming songs. Now, of course, all the green places, there's very much a theme about our connection to the land, to gardens and to farmland, to hills in the distance and the little patch of green we have wherever we happen to be. And there will be a few references to sheep later on as well. So you can see one of my sheep there. We couldn't have done this with horses, but the new petrol tractor won't mind. Hold fast your lantern, light me a path, Jack. Keep the plough steady behind. We've blacked out the doors and the windows. We're aware of the ministry's powers. And we rose with the dawn and we're still going strong, though our working day is 17 hours. So we're ploughing at night. It's our part in the fight, doing our bit for our country and king. We're ploughing at night under moon and lantern light to raise the food that the ships used to bring. And we couldn't have done this with horses, the last of them went years ago. There's not enough beasts in all England to pull all the ploughs where we need things to grow. When 2/3 of the food England's eating comes from farmland beyond England's shores, then working for 17 hours a day is our response to the fact we're at war. Right, doing our bit for our country and king. We're ploughing at night under moon and lantern light to raise the food that the ships used to bring. And we couldn't have done this with horses. Horses need sleep after all, but farmers, we just need the land that we work, and you know that we'll work till we fall. So our countrymen will not go hungry, so our children and neighbours are fed. When the grain from America doesn't arrive, and the trade links with Canada no longer thrive, you need something homegrown if you're going to survive. So we're working for your daily bread, and we're ploughing at night. It's our part in the fight, doing our bit for our country and king. We're ploughing at night under moon and lantern light to raise the food that the ships used to bring. Ploughing at night, it's our land, it's our right, doing our bit for our country and king. Done this with horses. Ploughing at Night was requested by David and Lucia. So if either of you either catch us now or later, I hope you enjoyed that. That was one of the songs I wrote for a series called, well, inspired by a series called Wartime Farm, a BBC history thing which came out a bunch of years ago with historians Ruth Goodman, Alex Lanlands and Peter Ginn, that explored how the Second World War changed farming, the landscape and the job of farmers here in the UK. And it was truly inspiring. The first episode, I scurried off at the end and went, I'm writing a song about that. What? And I think it was this one, Ploughing at Night, was the first one, because that was the edict. In order to raise enough food, farmers were told, well, on the one hand, put blackout curtains over all your windows, but on the other, light your lanterns and go ploughing at night. So that was when people started doing that. Each episode that followed, I think there were 8, I'd scurry off afterwards and write a song. Some are better than others. You'll hear another of them later on. But it was certainly part of, Talis writes about farming now. And then, of course, later came the sheep. Many of you know we have sheep. We inherited some sheep from my dear friend Emma, and sort of hold them in legacy and memory for her. She was, so many things, an inspiration, a shepherd, a crafter, a very wise and dear and compassionate woman, and she taught me so much. It was a pleasure and a privilege to get to know her and the flock. I wrote this when the flock were leaving the place that they were to move on to other land because reasons. In the event, they came back before they moved on again. But there was such a sadness in moving them the last time down the Drove Road, moving them the last time into this field, out of that field, through the gate. And I think Emma arranged it that it fell to me, of all of us there helping on the day, to actually close the gate on them as they had gone up the Drove Road into where they were being held before the move. So close the gate upon the yard, the empty lambing pen, and send the sheep upon their way to pasture once again. The land remains, the land endures, the land remembers all, and likewise all the bonny sheep still heed the shepherd's call. Now autumn stretched, the shadows lie along the old Drove Road, and winter treads a step behind to claim what he is owed. The sweat and ache of labour done, the land remembers all, and likewise all the bonny sheep still heed the shepherd's call. And still the kestrel's flight shall bless the clear bright sky, and still the knowing each dear beast all holds the shepherd's eye. So close the gate upon the yard, the empty lambing pen, and send the sheep upon their way to pasture once again. The land remains, the land endures, wherein we spend our days, and when we leave what we have loved, then something sacred, something sacred stay. have so many good memories of the farm where the flock were when I first got to know them. One of which is the summer we got to help out with the haying. Now, haying needs to be done when the weather is good. First you cut your hay, and then you hope the weather stays good, because then you've got to gather it all in. And the word went out from our dear farming friends from Lorraine and Mark, saying the weather forecast has changed. We had 5 days clear, and now we don't, and it's going to rain. We really need all hands on deck. So all sorts of friends of the farm all turned up en masse, and we all went and hefted bales, lifted them onto the trailer, brought them back singing. And it was such a bright thing to do, to feel we're doing what people have done for centuries and centuries, to bring the harvest in, bring the hay back before the weather breaks. And we sang and we made up songs, and I think we had ice cream from the back of the trailer, and we had shanties and all sorts. And I went home and started writing this. The song is called 5 Bales High. Half the harvest under cover, half the barn stacked 5 bales high. What remains lies 2 fields over, underneath the clear-eyed sky. Gather in all fees and favours, gather in all helping hands, gather all for winter's keeping. Who am I, if not the land's? Weather patterns change so quickly. Yesterday 'twas 5 days clear. Cut and baled a gracious plenty, hope and faith for 1 more year. And gather in the willing workers, gather in the strong of arm, gather all for winter's keeping. Hand fast to the working farm. So lift the bale and fill the trailer 1 more time, and sing the last, with songs of longing, love and wonder, reaching out to touch the past. And gather in the last hay standing, gather in the weary friends, gather all for winter's keeping. Bring a harvest home while summer ends, and gather in all fees and favours, gather in the helping hands, gather all for winter's keeping. Who are we, if not the land's? My friend Emma inspired very many songs with her crafting and her sheep, connection to the land, and simply her friendship. And I will be a little less fearful of death lifelong for the gift of being with her through her last year particularly. In her last spring, on a day in March, we drove up to Hackpen Hill, parked up on the ridgeway near here, looked out over the landscape which has been shaped by humans over so many centuries, and talked about our place in things, about life and death and dying, and we could see such a scope and distance of time and place all the way to the grey horizon, which Emma called the colour of distance, that heathery grey where you're not sure if it's the sky meeting the land or the land meeting the sky. And it became a kind of all right, because we were very small, part of something very much bigger. Drove where we could drink our fill on Hackpen Hill of sky and solace. Too soon for the leaves to show, but they will grow, this is the promise. I followed the road you said that sweetly led to a vale of wonder. High up on the ridgeway saw the sky hold all and the red kites under. You can't go home until you've left. You need the warp to join the weft. Weft alone's no proper weave. You can't go home until you leave. And show me the colour of distance. The bones of the land are clear, 5,000 years of human shaping. Round barrow and Roman order, parish border, chalk horse shaping. Perhaps there'll be woods again, some future when we are no longer. Till then here's the wool fleece, a half hour's peace where the air was stronger. You can't go home until you've left. You need the warp to join the weft. Weft alone's no proper weave. You can't go home until you leave. And show me the colour of distance. And you showed me the colour of distance. I'm going to drink a bit of water because the nerves, the stage nerves, they get me back. Oh, very dry. I hope wherever you are, you're sitting somewhere comfy and perhaps have a cup of tea or something else, some knitting, some crafting of some other sort. There will be a knitting song later. Let's have a look. Right. Emma's in this one as well. She introduced me, or she's one of the people who introduced me to the works of Tom Petty. And I remember sitting on her bed while we traded YouTubes, wearing Medusa hats. It was, it was a long story. Emma knew how to seize joy from the smallest things, and that was what she did all the way through to the end. So, this is called This Was the Year. I'd like to write a Tom Petty kind of a song for you. I'll add that to the long list of things I would like to do. This was the year I ended my lifelong love affair with chocolate. This was the year the whole world came undone. This was the year you died, and the year I learned to run. You'd see so clear, a bold imagineer of all kinds of things. Your words writ bright as you shared your delight in your sticks and strings. This was the year I made grown-up decisions about my relationship with biscuits. This was the year the whole world came undone. This was the year you died, and the year I learned to run. You said all the right things, the deep and the bright things. Every day I hear a thing I just want to tell you. A year of adventures, pocket-sized wonders. Every day, every single day I find a new way to miss you, miss you, miss you. It's not the same. I say your name for the joy it brings. It's clear enough, there is only love at the end of things. Haven't stopped talking to you, haven't stopped smiling at you, haven't stopped singing at you, I'm still singing for you. Haven't stopped thinking of you, haven't stopped writing to you, haven't stopped running and running and running to you. It's clear enough, there is only love at the end of things. And this was the year I ended my lifelong love affair with chocolate. This was the year the whole world came undone. This was the year you died, and the year I learned to run. Now you're going to have to imagine a harmonica for the next one. This is my my first foray into Americana. Whilst I am, as far as I know, as English as I could be. I may be some honorary kelp, who knows. This has got Johnny Cash in and trains, so, you know, Americana, right? And I've often done this in the States with dear friends of mine from America and Canada. So, Daniel, Dave, you're just, you know, you're there when I hear it in my head. Mark Long, you inspired this one, remember? From your ukulele practice? I should tell that story at the end. Johnny Cash and Amazing Grace got on the train at the usual place, took their seats, settled in for the ride. Said, Grace, how long we traveled this line? Seems to me it's been quite some time, and it's always a pleasure to have you by my side. She said, Johnny, you know I feel the same, but for all your struggles and all your fame, you were always a gentleman to me. Now I'm just one out of a million songs. Seems to me I most belong when I hear somebody start to sing my melody. He was the words and the tune and the rhythm. She was the voice and the story gear when the train kept rolling all the long night through. He was flawed, but he sure kept trying. She was a hymn for the dead and the dying, and they talked all night the way old friends do. Johnny Cash and Amazing Grace left the train at the usual place, said goodbye on the platform with a smile. She said, Johnny, you take the best of care. You're in my thoughts when you're off out there, and I worry when I don't see you around for a while. He said, oh, don't you worry about me none, 'cause when all my seeing days are done, I'll turn up on that train right next to you. I have no more voice and no more breath. I guess you might happen to call it death. Well, my songs will keep on doing all good songs do. He was the words and the tune and the rhythm. She was the voice and the story given. The train rolled on past rivers and distant hills. He was flawed, but he sure kept trying. She was a hymn for the dead and the dying. They talked all night, but I guess they're talking still. The train rolled on with Johnny Cash and Amazing Grace on board. They always will. Now, as I put my guitar down and my co-conspirator arrives, having topped up my glass of water, I'll tell you why that was inspired by Mark Long's ukulele lesson. Because, oh, there we go. Hey. Because Mark posted on Facebook. It's amazing the number of things I've written because of something I saw on Facebook or whatever. It's you really can write songs out of anything. So there I am scrolling through Facebook, and there's Mark Long saying, I did some ukulele practice today. I had a good session. And a friend commented, oh, what are you working on, Mark? And Mark said, Johnny Cash and Amazing Grace. And I just I saw them in my head. I thought, well, they're on a train, and there goes the song. I'll have that one. So there we go. Johnny Cash and Amazing Grace. And in my head, yeah, Daniel, Dave, you're there with me. So I have a co-conspirator for this next one. I didn't warn you all to bring a spoon to this gig, did I? I haven't got a spoon. Oh my goodness.
I'll bring you a spoon.
Yes. Got a spoon. We're in the kitchen. I mean, how... Yeah,
it's clean.
Is it? Well, let's just pretend it's not for the sake of the song.
Yes.
This is not a sea shanty. Ladles and jelly spoons. This is a tea shanty.
Hello,
and yes, it was. And now you teach those songs, Mark. Excellent. I should mention, it's lovely to see the comments flashing up, and I'm seeing little bits of things, but on the whole, I'm trying to focus on not falling off the sofa, doing the right song in the right order, looking at different things, making sure my feet don't get in a tangle with... I usually play standing up. I'm used to playing standing up, so there's a whole lot that's different. And yes, I'm totally relaxed on the sofa in my kitchen. And this is... Yes. Right, anyway. Spoon.
Spoon.
This spoon is dirty, oh, what shall I do?
You could wash the damn spoon.
I'll make me another all shiny and new.
Or you could wash the damn spoon.
Wash the damn spoon. Wash the damn spoon. Or you could wash the damn spoon. I'll dig me a well that goes all the way down.
Or just wash the damn spoon.
Because that's where the black stuff is generally found.
Or you could wash the damn spoon.
And I'll bring it ashore in a dirty great boat.
Or just wash the damn spoon.
And if she should founder, the oil will flow.
Or
looking at you, BP.
Wash the damn spoon.
Wash the damn spoon. Wash the damn spoon. Or you could wash the damn spoon. I'll get it refined so it knows to behave.
Or just wash the damn spoon.
And melt it and mould it to the shape that I crave.
Oh, you should wash the damn spoon.
I'll pack it in boxes, 10,000 more.
Or just wash the damn spoon.
And drive for a week till we get to the store.
Or you could wash the damn spoon.
Wash the damn spoon. Wash the damn spoon. Or you could wash the damn spoon. Wash the damn spoon. Wash the damn spoon. Or you could wash the damn spoon. I'll ring up the price that it says on the tag.
Oh, just wash the damn spoon.
And carry it home in a nice plastic bag.
Oh, you could wash the damn spoon.
Now it's takeaway chicken with noodles for two.
Oh, just wash the damn spoon.
But my spoon is dirty and what shall I do?
You could just wash the damn spoon.
Wash the damn spoon. Wash the damn spoon. Or you could wash the damn spoon. Wash the damn spoon. Wash the damn spoon. Or you could wash the damn spoon. Wash the damn spoon. Wash the damn spoon. Or you could wash the damn spoon. Wash the damn spoon. Wash the damn spoon. Or you could wash the damn spoon. Among the sillier versions of that.
Yes.
Not necessarily the silliest. Well, we're pretending, you know? I'm pretending to be all sorts of things when I'm singing my songs.
That pretending
so I'm sure
noodles.
a spoon can pretend to be a dirty spoon, okay? You know, you're very good at acting, aren't you? Yes, oh God, I'm talking to a spoon. Right, take the spoon away. Take yourself away. Thank you, Simon.
Interwebs.
What am I doing next? All right, now spoon was requested by Natalie and Heather and Jules. I have it all written down. See, I've got such stuff written down here. Whoa, okay. Yes, there is actually, there's a YouTube of that one up where I am sopping wet in a tent because we've been rained off of a stage at a festival and we were all utterly sodden. So we went into the nearest tent that was still standing and we just kind of carried on a cappella. Do you remember? Yeah. It was, and somebody put a camera on me and I'm just like, you know, dripping. I am dripping wet, singing Spoon at the top of my voice. It's very silly. And you're all going to go off and find that now. Right. Okay. I did promise I did promise a knitting song. We're going to have a knitting song. I have been told by kindly people that this particular song is quite possibly the best men's knitting shanty they've ever heard. It was so said Chantal. Oh yes, the tech was fizzing. You don't really want fizzing tech. When the ladies are knitting, the men folk keep quiet. That's not my thing at all. Hear them say, then it's off to the gentleman only knit club when they think no one's looking their way. Can you knit, brave boys? Can you knit? Can you cast on and off? Can you cable a fit? Can you keep the row steady until the glass fit? Can you knit, brave boys? Can you knit? Nobody's telling, so nobody knows, and it's dark when they set off to meet. 3 of them, 4 of them, 5 or 6 more of them all heading off down the street. Can you knit, brave boys? Can you knit? Can you cast on and off? Can you cable a bit? Can you keep the row steady until the glass fit? Can you knit, brave boys? Can you knit? Lies have been told, so their cover's intact. It's bowling or trips to the pub. And when nobody's looking, they're stitching and they're hooking at the gentleman only knit club. Can you knit, brave boys? Can you knit? Can you cast on and off? Can you cable a bit? Can you keep the row steady until the glass fit? Can you knit, brave boys? Can you knit? It's more than the texture and colour, you know. Oh, it's more than the pattern in hand. It's the maths in the stitches and the theory of knots that makes knitting appealing to man. Can you knit, brave boys? Can you knit? Can you cast on and off? Can you cable a bit? Can you keep the row steady until the glass fit? Can you knit, brave boys? Can you knit? Continental, pouvez-vous tricoter, messieurs? Pouvez-vous commencer et finir un peu? Faites attention aux couleurs, n'avez-vous pas de peur? Pouvez-vous tricoter, messieurs? Slip one. Can you, brave? Can you? Can you? On and can you? A bit? Cast off. Can you knit, brave boys? Can you knit? Can you cast on and off? Can you cable a bit? Can you keep the row steady until the glass fits? Can you knit, brave boys? Can you knit, brave boys? Can you knit, brave boys? Can you knit? Oh dear. That's always a giggle. I should really issue I should have set up a list of, right, you're going to need your spoon and your knitting and your cup of tea and whatever else for this one. But hey, I like to surprise you sometimes. There's a clue in the title of the set, some of what it's going to be about, but otherwise, yeah, it's a bunch of surprises. And sometimes I surprise myself by changing the set list at the last minute, like today, as well as earlier in the week. And whose fault? Whose fault, Fairborn? Oh. Okay, so I have a song of which Simon is very fond. And some of you have picked up, it's my birthday today. So I'm going to show you, first I'm going to show you the lovely thing. Here is the lovely thing. Right, let's see. Can you see? I'm going to wheel it about a bit because I know there's camera shine on there. Can you see that? There we go. This gorgeous thing. Look at the name of the boat, and that's the clue to the song. So I was in happy tears this morning when I opened that. This beautiful thing, let's take the beautiful thing away, lovely, is the artwork of Anna Marie, and Anna Marie and Kath are together We call them canal boat girls. Is that what the narrowboat girls?
Narrowboat
The narrowboat,
experience,
yes.
yeah.
So the narrowboatexperience.com will lead you to some of them and what they do, and they have YouTubes and things about their life on a narrowboat. And Anna Marie paints. Anyhow, Anna Marie, you made me cry. It's beautiful. I love the picture. Thank you so much for conspiring with Simon. And I don't know if you'll ever hear this, but if you do, then this is obviously for you. And for you, Simon, who prompted this. Oh, he was so sneaky. So sneaky. So sneaky. Am I doing this? I am. I'm doing this without a capo.
Okay.
Absolutely. I haven't sung this song for years. She's a good boat and honest, Demeter's her name. She sits low in the water when laden, and she hasn't the speed of your company car, but she rocks me to sleep every night. She's quiet and I like that, she's spacious for one, though there's room for a guest if I fancy. And she's painted up pretty like all of her kind, and her pictures are fairy tale bright. City to city and all that lies between, you sit indoors with your flickering screens, and I'll pass you by. It's gonna be chord salad. I'll take that little bit again. Did I say I haven't sung this one for a while? I was learning it off the CD this afternoon. Oops. City to city and all that lies between. Oh, you sit indoors with your flickering screens, and I'll pass you by, and you won't know I've been on my painted River Queen, in her blue and her gold and her scarlet and green. Oh, the moon on the water is a beautiful sight, and the sky's just as dark as it should be, but you can't see the stars when you're close to the town. Out here I've the night to myself. Strawberry wine in a cup of blue glass, I raise a quiet toast to the evening. If we kissed when we met, do your best to forget. Just as soon as I get here, I'm leaving. City to city and all that lies between. Oh, you sit indoors with your flickering screens, and I'll pass you by, and you won't know I've been on my painted River Queen, the blue and her gold and her scarlet, her blue and her gold and her scarlet and green. If we kissed when we met, do your best to forget. Just as soon as I get here, just as soon as I get here, I'm leaving. I think this is where I say, well, that was a unique performance of that particular piece. Ladles and jelly spoons. Hey. Oh.
Got a blue glass.
Okay, what's next? Something without the cap. See, did I show? Oh yeah, I showed you my list. Right, have I piece of paper there? That can go. That can go. So I've thrown some paper around the place, and that one, and that one. Oh, that one. No, I want one of these. That one. I want that one. Right. No, I do have this on the capo. Sure I do. Surely I do this. I haven't written it down. I might change songs. I might do something else. Yeah, because I can't remember which capo setting. And I'm burbling now because... No, it's gone. That song has decided to wait for another session, Ladles and Jelly Spoons. Incidentally, I'm doing this because so many people seem to enjoy the last one and I enjoyed it. So I thought, well, let's do another one. And I still had some requests that I hadn't sung. And I still have requests that I haven't sung. And that list keeps getting longer, including hauling things out from the deep, deep past. Which gets a bit exciting. Do you know what? I'll do an a cappella. Yes, I'll do that. This was another late entry. It's coming up to elderflower time, and I don't know if we'll be out and about and collecting elderflower this year. There have not been enough years that I have collected elderflowers for cordial or for elderflower fizz. But it's something I mean to do more of. It is such a sweet, heady, intoxicating scent, and it's a song about the elderflower, which comes out kind of at Midsummer, doesn't it? Really, it's a June thing, so I'm a little bit early, but there we go. Summer's come and summers go, and the elderflowers briefly. Uninvited still it grows, and scents the air so sweetly. Gather in the starry clouds of muslin-coloured glory, home to where your kitchen waits, and this shall be the story. Other flavours take their turn, but elder's gone so quickly. Rosehip has a country charm, and rhubarb season's lengthy. Long before the apples swell, when the fruit is setting, every lace-filled hedgerow says, I've spent too long forgetting. Now though I carry few regrets, I've bottled too few summers. Time is brittle, life is short, and the days are full with wonders. All the years I let slip by, and never claimed the harvest, this year I shall bring them home, and keep Midsummer's promise. Now summer's come, and summers go, and the elderflowers briefly. Uninvited still it grows, and scents the air so sweetly. All the years I let slip by, and never claimed the harvest, this year I shall bring them home, and keep Midsummer's promise. Oh, this year I shall bring them home, and keep Midsummer's promise. Now I think I caught that Jacqueline... Elderflower's out today, my goodness. Well, there you go. I didn't sing it too early after all. I'm glad. Thank you for telling me. Okay, that one can go. Right, let's get a bit more raucous with this next one. This will be new to a lot of you. So the elder is preceded, of course, by the hawthorn, the May. And there's so much lore, so much folklore about this. When I went looking to see what I might want to say about the hawthorn, the May blossom, there was almost more than I could squish into a song. But I squished plenty into the song anyway. I'm not the hawthorn if you would safeguard your child. I'm not the hawthorn if you would be unbeguiled. I'm not the hawthorn if a long life you would see. I'm not the hawthorn, for it is a fairy tree. Hips and haws may swell your stores against the worst of winter, fullest in the autumn that predicts the coming cold. Brighter than the blood you shed when the fire pierced your finger, dearer far than rubies when the leaves are turning gold. Not the black, not the brown, pull the hooded rider down. Not the brown, not the bay, marriage torch, the wedding crown, the scent where death has been. Bread and cheese and blossom wine, the trysting and the choosing. Christmas morning, May sprig as a gift from queen to queen. Not the black, not the brown, for the hooded rider down. Not the brown, not the bay. Fix your eyes on the dapple grey. Fix your eyes on the dapple grey. Not the brown and not the bay. Kirtle well your russet gown, if you'd wear the scarlet crown. The scarlet crown. I'm not the hawthorn if your heart requires ease. I'm not the hawthorn that glows in Glastonbury. I'm not the hawthorn if a long life you would see. I'm not the hawthorn, for it is a fairy tree. I'm not the hawthorn if you would safeguard your child. I'm not the hawthorn if you would be unbeguiled. I'm not the hawthorn if a long life you would see. I'm not the hawthorn, for it is a fairy tree. I'm not the hawthorn, for it is a fairy tree. Not the black, not the brown. Pull the hooded rider down. Right, coming up to the end here. Couple more songs left. Hope you've had a nice evening. I'm having a nice evening. I've had a lovely day. There's been sunshine, there's been cake, there've been surprises, there's been music. There's been good food and there's been surprise company, and it's been lovely. So wherever you are, I hope you're having, a chill time. Hope you're safe, hope you're well. Right, this is more familiar to lots of you, and this was requested by somebody in Helen Shoulder's family. Now, Helen, it might have been you, or it might have been one of your folks, but this was definitely on my request list. Struggles to remember the key, yeah. There we go. Corn Jenny and John Barleycorn lay down in a field of clover, nor any human eye could watch them settle where they lay. The clouds did race, the clouds did run, between the good earth and the golden sun. And the seed was set, and the deed was done, all on a shining day, singing oats and barley and wheat and rye, oats and barley and wheat and rye, oats and barley and wheat and rye, oats and barley and wheat and rye. Corn Jenny, shall we turn the year a little further out of winter? Corn Jenny, shall we turn the year a little further into spring? Corn Jenny, as I weave you now, are you glad that I remember? Corn Jenny, does it make you smile that the harvest's gathered in? Oh, Corn Jenny, sweet Corn Jenny, let's dance while the summer waves goodbye. Corn Jenny, good Corn Jenny, with your oats and barley and wheat and rye. Hey! Corn Jenny, did you see last night the moon rose full to bless you? Corn Jenny, did you singe your hem when the fields of stubble burned? Corn Jenny, of the 5 in hand and a ribbon bow to dress you. Corn Jenny, of the golden curves, your lesson gladly learned. Oh, Corn Jenny, sweet Corn Jenny, let's dance while the summer waves goodbye. Corn Jenny, good Corn Jenny, with your roots and barley and a wheat and a rye. Hey! wide straw bend, out and in and a plateau end. Damp the straw before you start, mill the grain but you weave the heart. Sing oats and barley and wheat and rye, oats and barley and wheat and rye, oats and barley and wheat and rye, oats and barley and wheat and rye. Oh, corn Jenny, sweet corn Jenny, let's dance for the summer waves goodbye. Corn Jenny, good corn Jenny, with your oats and barley and wheat and rye. Corn Jenny, sweet corn Jenny, let's dance for the summer waves goodbye. Corn Jenny, good corn Jenny, with your oats and barley and wheat and rye. Hey, yeah, da 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 da, yeah, da 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 da, yeah, da 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 da. Oats and barley and wheat and rye. May your beasts go well and thrive, may your walls and roofs stand strong, may your well give water clear, and your days be long. May your bones not lack for strength, may your hearth not lack for flame, may your nights be full with rest, and your stores with grain. And the oldest songs are sung, and the oldest tales are told, as the year its promise keeps, when the wheat turns gold. That the sun once more shall rise, that the rain once more shall fall, and by the grace and gift of both shall the wheat stand tall. May there be better days, may there be better days ahead for us all. Good night. Thank you for being here. Keep safe, keep kind. Thank you for spending time with me, and maybe we'll do it again in a couple of weeks. I'll be glad to hear from you if you've got requests. Thank you. Look after yourselves. Good night.